good experience for me.
Him, the way we focused on him.
The bigger guys training for this, how's that felt?
You said a
sparring, sparring the bigger guys.
The upcoming fight between Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez is a major clash, bringing together two of boxing's biggest stars. Crawford, with an undefeated record of 41-0, knows the risks of facing a fighter like Canelo and isn't about to jeopardize his perfect career. To prepare for the challenge, Crawford has sought guidance from Canelo's past opponents. Just a few weeks ago, Crawford was spotted training with none other than Floyd Mayweather, clearly taking steps to ensure he's ready for the massive showdown ahead. This partnership shows how seriously Crawford is taking the fight and his desire to learn from the best.
Can you fill in the blank? Triple G is blank.
Si puedes terminarle la expresión. Triple G es ¿qué dirías?
Now, Crawford has turned to Gennady Triple G Golovkin for help, despite Canelo Alvarez defeating him twice in their trilogy. The first fight between Canelo and Golovkin remains a huge point of controversy, as many believe the draw decision was unjust. Golovkin outlanded Canelo in 10 of the 12 rounds, yet the judges still scored the fight a draw. This controversial result set the stage for a trilogy, where Canelo ultimately proved himself in the following two bouts. Despite the past rivalry, Crawford is seeking insight from Golovkin to better prepare for his upcoming challenge against Canelo.
I know you guys are competitive, but what was that sparring like? Fight fans want to know. It was dope. It was dope. It was dope.
Crawford is eager to understand how Gennady Golovkin was able to disrupt and dominate Canelo Alvarez, leading to their controversial draw. The friendship between Crawford and Golovkin began when rumors about a potential fight between the two started circulating last year. However, the first lesson Crawford learned from Triple G wasn't about strategy or tactics, it was about the sheer power of Canelo Alvarez's punches. Golovkin's experience with Canelo has provided valuable insights for Crawford as he prepares for the challenge ahead, especially regarding the immense strength that Canelo brings to the ring.
For even, giving me the opportunity to step in the ring with him, I could say.
Arguably the biggest punch in the trilogy between Gennady Golovkin and Canelo Alvarez came in their first fight, when Canelo landed a massive right hand in the 9th round, catching Golovkin clean. Triple G revealed to DAZN just how hard that punch really was, and his response may be of interest to Terence Crawford. Golovkin recalled, "I remember that punch. I let it get through, but I don't know what to call it. It wasn't hard. It felt kind of like a slap, or maybe a sliding punch." While Golovkin downplays Canelo's power, his perspective might give Crawford even more confidence heading into their likely showdown.
Jake Paul's in town, you guys gonna get dinner?
I didn't think so.
Maybe next time.
Canelo, can you fill in the blank for me? Triple G is blank.
Aside from their conversations, Terence Crawford also had a brief sparring session with Gennady Golovkin, much like the one he had with Floyd Mayweather a few weeks ago. When rumors about a potential Crawford vs. Golovkin fight started circulating, many found the idea questionable. Some matchups in boxing, no matter how appealing, simply aren't feasible. This was the case with the rumored mega fight between the former undisputed welterweight champion, Terence Crawford, and the former super middleweight champion, Gennady Golovkin, with whispers suggesting that Crawford's camp was exploring the possibility.
Потому что я скажу так, наверное, во мне вот эта вот страсть к боксу еще пока не остыла. В данный момент у меня 3 пояса в 160, мне надо решать свои вопросы.
At 42, Gennady Golovkin never officially announced his retirement from boxing, but after suffering his second career loss to Canelo Alvarez in 2022, he hasn't returned to the ring. He also took on a leadership role as the head of Kazakhstan's Olympic Committee, further diminishing speculations about his comeback. However, recent rumors surfaced on social media suggesting a potential fight between Golovkin and Terence Crawford in 2025, sparked by whispers of interest from Saudi officials. Fight Hub TV picked up the story and asked fans for their opinions. This caught the attention of a Saudi royal advisor, who quickly responded in the comments section, debunking the rumors, stating, "Not truth," and clarifying that there are no plans for such a fight.
Я думаю, даже скажу, может быть, немножко громко, я неплохо себя чувствовал, и если вы видели, как
Even after debunking the Crawford vs. Golovkin fight rumors, fans couldn't resist discussing the hypothetical matchup. Despite seemingly being in retirement, Golovkin still has a loyal online fan base who quickly backed him. One user felt that Triple G must still possess his power, writing, "At 160, Triple G might be slow, but I'm sure he's still powerful." However, others pointed out that Golovkin's appearance suggests he's out of the game, with one comment noting, "Have people seen Triple G lately? He looks retired, like he hasn't sparred or run 6 miles in 2 years." Interestingly, although he doesn't seem poised to return to boxing, Golovkin has dropped hints about a potential comeback in several interviews.
В принципе, даже не пропускал и не устал, то есть я показал, что есть силы, чему я очень рад.
The next user shared their prediction for the potential bout, stating, "Crawford will not step in the ring for this fight. Triple G will stop Crawford within 7 rounds." This user pointed out that in Crawford's last 12 bouts, he's only gone the distance once, implying he's no easy opponent. Similar to the previous user, they also believe that in his prime, Triple G would win easily against Bud Crawford. Golovkin's knockout ratio in his prime was formidable, with 42 wins and 37 knockouts, making him one of the most feared punchers in the sport.
Где бы я бы ни находился, я, конечно, буду думать о том, как.
On top of that, Crawford's move to higher weight classes wouldn't have helped his case. One user seemed confused by the matchup, commenting, "Shake my head, Terence may need to retire, he has no one else to fight. They're just pulling stuff out of a hat at this point." However, that's not entirely accurate, as Jaron "Boots" Ennis has been eager to fight Crawford, but Bud has declined the matchup. Meanwhile, another user seemed excited about the potential fight, writing, "Old Triple G vs. Crawford would be amazing." They acknowledged that both are elite fighters with a wealth of skills, and it would have been an exciting clash. Unfortunately, some fights in boxing are simply impossible, no matter how much fans want them to happen. This brings us to today's story, where rumors suggested that His Excellency Turki Alek was exploring a mega fight between former undisputed welterweight champion Terence Crawford and former super middleweight champion Gennady Golovkin. Although that fight never materialized, Crawford eventually secured the highly anticipated bout with Canelo Alvarez. This represents a significant milestone in both fighters' careers. Crawford has faced top opponents like Errol Spence Jr., Sean Porter, and Amir Khan over the years, while Canelo has had his share of big fights against Floyd Mayweather, Miguel Cotto, Shane Mosley, and Sergey Kovalev. 3 of those matchups were against his former rival, Golovkin. Alvarez and Golovkin fought over a 5-year span, with their first encounter in September 2017, which ended in a controversial majority draw, despite many believing Golovkin should have won.
We know he's capable of a lot of things, but you know, we're not going to overlook anything, and that's why we prepare the way we prepare and focus on.
A rematch occurred 12 months later, with Canelo claiming a narrow points victory. The third meeting in 2022 was arguably the most decisive of the trilogy, as Alvarez won on points again, but this time more comfortably. Recently, Canelo signed a 4-fight deal with Riyadh Season, with the first of these huge bouts scheduled for May 3rd, where he will face IBF super middleweight champion, William Skoll, in an effort to become the undisputed super middleweight champion once again. One person with first-hand experience preparing a fighter to face the Mexican icon is Abel Sanchez, who coached Gennady Golovkin in 2 of his fights against Canelo in 2017 and 2018. Speaking to KO Artist Sports, Sanchez gave Terence Crawford little to no chance against Canelo, citing Crawford's significant weight disadvantage as a major factor in the potential fight.
Bigger guys. Yeah. I never sparred nobody my size, so that's nothing.
Okay, guys, thank you.
So super middleweight wouldn't be a problem, right?
Nope.
Thank you, Terence. Appreciate it.
"It's a ridiculous fight," said Abel Sanchez. "I mentioned it a while ago, Crawford is a great fighter, but he's been the same from 135 to 147. He hasn't changed anything to make him effective at the bigger weights, while Canelo has evolved. Crawford hasn't been destroying his opponents, He did beat one who was a shell of his former self, but Canelo is demolishing everyone he faces. Crawford's not doing that. Yes, it's a good money fight, but it's not a real fight. Similarly, former two-weight world champion Andre Ward has shared his thoughts on the potential super fight between Saul, Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford.
I can bet the house on, but because me and him.
Terence Crawford has been eyeing a fight with Canelo ever since his career-defining performance against welterweight rival Errol Spence Jr. last year. While the Mexican initially dismissed the idea, he recently admitted he would be open to defending his super middleweight titles against the naturally smaller Crawford if the financial terms were right. Speaking on the All the Smoke podcast, former undefeated champion Andre Ward, who retired with a perfect 32-0 record, named the two matchups he most wants to see in boxing. "I want to see Canelo fight either Terence Crawford or David Benavidez," Ward said. "You have two options, face someone in your weight class, or pick on the smaller guy, Terence Crawford."
We so much alike in our mentality. Like soon as I see this dude, he come in the room or I come in the room, we start arguing about basketball.
In the potential Crawford versus Canelo clash, Andre Ward would place his money on the fighter who last fought at 3 weight classes lower. "I'm not betting against Terence right now. Not against anybody," Ward said. He believes Crawford is one of the most skilled fighters in the game today, emphasizing his unique mentality. "Crawford is someone you can't bet against," Ward explained. "Me and him are so much alike in our mentality. He's skillful, but his heart and mind are different. There's not a lot of guys like that out there right now. A lot of guys talk the talk, but until you get in that real fight, it's a different story. I'm not saying it's a fight Crawford should win, but it's a 50-50 matchup. Until we see it, we don't really know."
Wrestling, anything, bro. Like, man, you can't, man, you looking small. What you mean I'm looking small? You looking small. Like, it's just that, like, you gotta really hurt that.
Terence Crawford is different, says Shakur Stevenson, who praises his determination. "He's a dog," Stevenson says, noting that Crawford is always able to rise to the occasion when needed. Stevenson, who calls Crawford his big brother, also believes Crawford would defeat Canelo Alvarez if they ever fought, despite a 14-pound weight disadvantage. While Canelo, unlike Charlo, has expressed no interest in fighting Crawford due to the size difference, Stevenson isn't concerned. He believes size isn't the deciding factor in a fight, skills are. Stevenson thinks Crawford's southpaw stance, excellent movement, and solid fundamentals would give Canelo real challenge, giving him the edge in such a matchup.
I've been saying that I don't think size win fights, I think skills do. Yeah, I think like being a southpaw with good movement and sharp boxing, it'd be hard for Canelo with that high guard to walk him down and load up on them big hooks. I think Bud would be Canelo.
Speaking to IFL TV about Crawford's next steps, Shakur Stevenson praised Terence Crawford, saying, "He's running things right now." When asked who Crawford should face next, Stevenson expressed his desire to see him fight Jermall Charlo, although Charlo is already set to fight Canelo. Stevenson believes Crawford could beat Canelo, pointing out that his southpaw stance, solid movement, and excellent boxing skills would make it difficult for Canelo to land his powerful hooks. "I wish Charlo wasn't fighting Canelo, but it is what it is," Stevenson said. He emphasized that, in his view, size doesn't win fights, skills do, and Crawford has the skill set to beat Canelo.
Who knows?
That smile's telling me something else, bro. I think it might be on the line, no?
I'm just saying, man, we can't say it's not gonna happen. We can't say.
The potential fight between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford is one of the biggest matchups in boxing today, and with Saudi Arabia's growing involvement in the sport, it seems more likely than ever. Trainer Robert Garcia discussed how Canelo holds an advantage over Crawford, while also touching on Crawford's current situation. Garcia emphasized that if Crawford doesn't secure a fight against Canelo soon, the Omaha boxer may very well decide to retire.
Crawford is doing it is because he knows it's the biggest payday in his life, and he'll never, maybe what he could get against Canelo, he's never made in all his fights combined.
Crawford is a smart man, and he's already accomplished everything he set out to do, Garcia said in an interview with Fight Hype. He's done a lot in his career and doesn't need to challenge himself or prove anything to anyone. I've spoken to him personally, and my sense is that he really wants that big fight with Canelo. If he doesn't get it, he might never fight again. Garcia also mentioned other potential opponents for Crawford, including Jermall Charlo, Virgil Ortiz Jr., Sergey Bohachuk, and Xander Zayas.
Would he call up Benavidez when he's calling out Canelo knowing that he's going to make double the money?
Because he wants to fight at 68, that's why.
So that's why.
For Robert Garcia, Crawford has nothing left to prove. With his incredible career and unbeaten record, Garcia believes Crawford doesn't need to fight just to satisfy fans who demand certain matchups. I don't see him fighting just to please the fans who tell him he needs to fight this or that one, Garcia explained. He also emphasized that if it were about money, Crawford wouldn't need to fight again, as he's already secured his fortune through smart investments. According to Garcia, the only reason Crawford would return to the ring is to face Canelo and end his career on a high note. He's a very smart man, he's invested his money. He doesn't need to fight, but he's still looking for that big fight against Canelo. If he gets it, he'll take it, but other than that, he might never fight again, Garcia added.
He wants to make the biggest fucking payday.
Does he have a chance in the fight?
Everybody has a chance, but I think he'll put up some good rounds. I think he loses to Canelo, but he'll put up good rounds. Better than Charlo did.
If the fight against Canelo Alvarez happens, Robert Garcia believes Crawford can hold his own for several rounds, potentially earning both Canelo's and the public's respect. I think Crawford could give good rounds, Garcia said. The first 6 to 8 rounds would be very competitive. Crawford has skills, he's strong, fast, and has good power to earn Canelo's respect. However, Garcia feels that eventually, Canelo's size and strength would be too much for Crawford. Despite this, he believes the first few rounds would be very entertaining. For those 6 rounds, I think it would be a very exciting fight, Garcia concluded.
Canelo. He'll put up some good rounds. He'll fight. He'll probably get stopped and get knocked out, but he'll put up some good rounds. Yeah, but he'll
The plans for a fight between Saul, Canelo, Alvarez and Terence Crawford appear to remain just an idea, as a significant obstacle stands in the way. This issue is bigger than agreeing on a multi-million-dollar purse, and Canelo may not be willing to budge, even if a massive offer is made, potentially the best payday of his career. Ryan Garcia has made his stance clear on a potential matchup between boxing champions Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford, leaving no room for doubt. In a recent interview, Garcia, known for his bold statements, called Crawford an overhyped bum and firmly stated that Alvarez would emerge victorious if they ever faced off in the ring. Speaking to C's TV, Garcia didn't hold back, accusing Crawford of being a boring fighter who doesn't deserve the attention he gets and is merely stealing boxing's money.
Errol Spence Jr. that went through a car crash. Name one guy that he beat other than Errol Spence that's well known. Sean Porter that was washed. Who has he beat? He hasn't beat nobody, bro. He's not gonna beat nobody, bro. Terence Crawford is up.
The young fighter, currently serving a doping ban, went as far as to challenge Crawford, saying, "Come see me in the ring if you think I'm talking expletives." Garcia's comments were particularly daring given his current suspension and the controversy surrounding his failed drug test earlier this year. Unsurprisingly, Garcia was firm in his opinion, even calling out one of the boxing superstars to fight him if they disagreed.
Terence Crawford's not no, he ain't like that, bro. Terence Crawford is an overhyped bum, bro. I'm sorry. Somebody gotta say it. You're an overhyped bum, bro. I'm looking at the camera right now.
Terence Crawford is not like that, Garcia told C's TV. Crawford is an overhyped bum. I'm sorry, but someone has to say it, you're an overhyped bum. I'm looking at the camera right now, you freaking suck, bro. Stop acting like you're all that, stop stealing boxing's money, wasting everyone's cash. You're not entertaining, you're boring as hell. Come see me in the ring if you think I'm talking nonsense. I can do it anytime, bro. Despite his bold words, Garcia remains confident that a fight with Crawford could happen eventually. I could definitely see Crawford, what do you mean? Garcia added.
Like that, stop stealing boxing money, you're wasting everybody's money, you're not entertaining, bro, you're more in this, come see me in the ring if you think I'm talking shit, I can do it anytime,
You think you can see Crawford?
I can definitely see Crawford, bro, what do you mean? Bro, I've seen many fighters like him too, he's not that good, bro, he gets hit a lot, bro, he gets wobbled, hit, bro, he's not untouchable, bro, you act like he's Mayweather.
I was one of the best amateurs, and he was too. I've seen many fighters like him. I don't care if he can avoid my left hook, I'll find a way to land it. He's not untouchable, he gets hit a lot and wobbled. He's not as good as people think. If a fight between Garcia and Crawford happens, it'll likely be at a catch weight. Garcia has never fought at the 147 pounds welterweight limit or higher, while Crawford's last fight was at 140 pounds in 2017. After testing positive for a banned substance following his bout with Devin Haney, Garcia continues to stir up controversy in the boxing world by belittling the achievements of other fighters.
I don't think that he's not a great fighter, but I don't think he's as good as people say. He's not like a Sugar Ray Leonard, you know, not Tommy Hearn. You can't do that, because he's not like that, bro. He hasn't fought nobody that has firepower like.
Ryan Garcia is targeting Terence Crawford, who has been pursuing a fight with Canelo Alvarez in 2025, though the Mexican fighter has yet to accept the challenge. Garcia claims he has already called Crawford to request a fight, with the goal of proving that Crawford isn't as good as people think, even teasing him with the prospect of a big payday. As for Crawford, Garcia said, I already called him. I think he's just trying to get a fight with Canelo Alvarez, but I don't think that's going to happen. When asked if he's ever faced an opponent with one-punch knockout power, Garcia replied, no, that's why I think Bud Crawford is overrated.
Him or Boots?
I like Boots. In my opinion, I like Boots. I don't think Crawford could keep up with somebody that talented and young and fast. Haven't even seen him fight somebody.
I'd love to fight Bud. I don't think he's as good as people say. If Bud is listening, I'd like to fight you and give you a beating, Garcia stated, referring to the undefeated Crawford, who holds the WBC and WBO welterweight titles. That's all for now. For the latest updates on news, events, and action in the world of boxing, stay connected by subscribing to our YouTube channel. Don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss our quality content. Until next time, peace out.